Kashmir, and we've accessed one more such footage that we'll now take you through. Now, these are, of course, different angles of the same incident, and this is taken now from a short distance away from the site of the blast, as you can see. Now, what you see is an empty patch of land here, and the blast taking place in the vicinity behind that compound wall. You can see the scale and magnitude of the explosion as well. That ends up sending basically blasting away a lot of debris into the adjoining areas as well, including where these cars are being parked on an empty patch of land. So that's the time of the blast. You can see the timestamp as well on the CCTV footage. This is on Friday approximately at 11:22 p.m. late at night. Let me go across to my colleague Sohail as well. Now, Sohail, multiple visuals that we've managed to access of that explosion, which was a very high intensity explosion, which is why it ended up killing as many as 9 people and injuring as many as 27 at the very least. Now, take us through the intensity of the blast, the fate of those who've been injured and admitted to hospitals and are currently receiving treatment. What can you tell us about the latest?
Well, we are reporting from late last evening about the intensity of this explosion that in fact occurred inside police station Nowgam at around 11:20. The intensity was such that even I myself in fact felt it 5 kilometers. I was away from this particular spot in an area called Rajbagh. So the intensity was.
Yeah, we're trying to patch that audio once again with my colleague Sahil Sohail. What we're getting you also on our screens is the latest CCTV visual that we managed to access, which is from an adjoining plot of land very close to the blast site. You can see the flames going off, which is the precise moment of the explosion at approximately 11:22 last night. Sohail, coming back to you, there's a fair amount of police presence where you're standing currently. What's happening?
Well, first of all, one more FSL team has gone inside the police station. There have been multiple teams that were going in station.
We'll try to patch that line once again with Sohail, but he gave us a very important piece of information within those 10 odd seconds that we had him, which is that FSL teams have now gone inside that police station where the blast took place, presumably now to pick up samples of some of the debris, including the explosive material that may have been left behind, to get some perspective on what exactly happened. Remember that a magisterial probe has also already been initiated by the Lieutenant Governor to look into the circumstances in which the blast actually unfolded as well. We also have some more reactions now coming in. Let's listen in.
On 14th November night at 11:20 p.m., in an unfortunate accidental incident, a massive explosion took place inside the police station Nowgam in Jammu and Kashmir. It is to mention that the Nowgam police recently cracked the case of a terror module based on leads taken from a poster. As a part of standard and prescribed procedure, the recovered chemical and explosive samples were being forwarded for further forensic and chemical examination. During the process, an accidental explosion took place at about 11:20 p.m. 9 people have lost their lives, whereas 27 police personnel, 2 revenue officials and 3 civilians have received injuries. The cause of the accident is being investigated. However, any other speculation into the cause of these incidents are unnecessary.
Now we have some more reactions coming in to what transpired in Nowgam. We also have Sohail joining us live. Sohail, you're of course reporting from very close to where the blast took place, and you've just informed us that the FSL teams have gone inside, presumably to pick up samples of the debris, also to understand the circumstances in which the blast unfolded. Take us through the action around you right now, because there's heavy police presence in the area.
Yes, exactly. This FSL team just in fact entered into the premises of police station Nowgam, where this in fact explosion occurred yesterday at around 11:20. So as of now, the area is sealed. Nobody is allowed to move inside the premises of this police station. We have in fact seen special DG CRPF for J&K zone, Mr. Rajesh Kumar, going assessing the situation. J&K DGP, IGP and top officials from Jammu and Kashmir Police and CRPF are continuously visiting the premises of this police station. You can see now one more vehicle coming out. It's all basically the FSL teams and the SDRF teams who are working at the spot. While the SDRF is removing the debris, the FSL team is collecting the evidences. Those pieces of evidences will basically help police to reach a conclusion and investigate that what went wrong when this all sampling was taking place. We had the statement of DGP and Ministry of Home Affairs has also spoken about it. We know the intensity of this explosion was quite high. In fact, I reside around 5 to 7 kilometers away from this spot. I myself felt the intensity of this blast, which basically triggered me to quickly to clarify and seek clarification from the authorities at that very moment, because it was not normal air blast or something else that I had sensed at the very first moment. So the intensity was quite high. The nearby areas have also suffered damage, and in fact 3 civilians have also suffered injuries because of this explosion. 9 people as of now have lost their lives in this tragic, in fact, accidental explosion to one officer of a state investigating agency, which was, in fact, Inspector Asrar, was leading from the front. He was basically investigating the case. And in his presence, the sampling exercise was taking place inside the premises of this police station. The process, it's a procedure. It's in fact a legal procedure to pick up samples for forensic analysis, for basically for chemical analysis, and these all samples were being collected. It was a 2-day exercise, and yesterday the police had expected to conclude it by late evening. That's why it was continuing till the late evening, because Jammu and Kashmir had paced up its investigation to probe the Jaish terror module in case and the Delhi blast case. They are interconnected. This recovery was made from Faridabad, Haryana, and all this in fact explosives that were recovered from there was being in fact now and the samples were being picked up. The sampling was taking place, and those samples were supposed to be pushed forward to for forensic and chemical analysis. Jammu and Kashmir Police is investigating the case. LG Manoj Sinha has equally ordered a magisterial probe into the incident, which will basically find and help the security agency Jammu and Kashmir Police that what actually went wrong at the spot where this sampling exercise was taking place. It's a normal procedure and happening in every single recovery, whether it's weapon recovery or...
This is part of protocol. You're absolutely right about that, Sahil, and the FSL teams that have gone in to presumably collect samples in the aftermath of that blast will also be submitting their findings to the magisterial inquiry that's already underway, ordered by the Lieutenant Governor. We'll come back to Sahil for more updates, but in the meantime, we also have my colleague Akanksha, who will take us through the multiple CCTV footages that we've managed to access and piece together. And this is the precise moment of the explosion that took place at approximately 11:22 p.m. late last night. Let me go across to Akanksha, who has those footages with her as we speak. Over to you, Akanksha.
Absolutely, Siddharth. See, what we know so far is that it was a high-intensity blast. It was accidental blast, as the police has said, and that it took place around 11:22, as you also mentioned. This is one of the footages that Times Now has access there, where you can see, let me play this out, the high-intensity blast here, a massive explosion that happened at 11:22 last night. And you can see the intensity of the blast was such that the animals here on the street, you can see they're running helter-skelter. Let me show you another CCTV footage that has come to the fore that shows you the intensity of the blast that was captured on camera. We have 4 such CCTV footages that have come to the fore that shows how that it was a massive explosion there, not too far from the city of Srinagar, merely about 25 kilometers at around 11:22 is when this blast took place. And once again, let me show you that CCTV footage that Times Now has access. You can see a massive explosion here at 11:22 p.m. In the night. This is the area that is near the Nowgam Police Station where this explosion took place.
Right, and such was the magnitude and the intensity of the blast, Akanksha, that our colleague Sahil Suhail, who lives about 5.5 kilometers away, was able to hear the explosion. So it was a very intensive one indeed, which ended up claiming 9 lives and injuring at least 27 people. Many thanks for the visuals that you've shown us on screen. We'll slip into a short break right now. We'll continue our coverage on the other side.